Good morning, Desert Sands Unified School District. My name is Sean Webb. I'm your Director of Community Engagement and the Foundation, and we're coming to you live from Classroom Conversations here at Coffee Bean on El Paseo, doing a little remotely this morning. Doing this because Coffee Bean has been a great sponsor of the foundation. This is the second week in a row where I've gone ahead and come to a Coffee Bean, and they supply coffee for a number of schools. Last week, our friends over at Coffee Bean La Quinta gave coffee to 11 school sites in La Quinta. And then this week, Coffee Bean in El Paseo is giving coffee to 6 school sites in Palm Desert. As I was sharing backstage earlier, I've got my work cut out for me to get all the Indio schools and see who we're going to have in the upcoming weeks. We'll definitely bring some coffee to them. But before we move on, I want to go ahead and make sure to thank our partners that make this possible. We produce this out to CoachellaValley.com. We produce this out to Desert Sands social media, as well as all of Desert Sands Educational Foundation social media. But our partnership with CoachellaValley.com is just formed in this last couple of months. So thank you very much. But before we move on, thank you, the Desert Sands Educational Foundation, for allowing us to be on StreamYard. And I'd like to read their mission statement. The Desert Sands Educational Foundation secures funding and awards money to provide supplemental resources that enrich and enhance student learning in Desert Sands Unified School District. Their vision statement, in partnership with public and private sectors, Desert Sands Educational Foundation financially supports creative and innovative programs that enrich and enhance the educational experience in the academics, the arts, and extracurricular activities that engage all students and staff in DSUSD. So without any more from me, let's go ahead and bring on Chef Mary. We've got a fun show today. We're going to highlight one of the people that is near and dear to me in Desert Sands, and I'll share more about that in a second with Chef Mary. Good morning, Chef Mary. How are you?
Good morning. How are you, John? Doing well?
I'm well. I can see that. I got a little bit of a lag here. Sorry about that.
Well, that's okay. Doing well in the mountain. It's springtime, and the weather is really nice and warm. And I've been practicing some of the things I have learned through our classroom conversations with some of our guests. I have decluttered. I am now in the line of the grocery store without a problem. I've learned how to knit because Rebecca Cook has inspired me to do that. So I'm not sure what our audience has gained from this, but I certainly have 3 things that I am using, and I'm happy about it.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. And on top of that, I'll say that on Friday, we're going to have a special edition again with our team from special education. And Sue Ann Block and her team are setting up another mindfulness session for us at 9 o'clock. So we'll have another opportunity for you to learn another thing that you can put in your everyday practices.
I think it's incredible. So I'm really hoping that our viewing audience takes all those things to heart, because they actually do work, and it's easy. It's an easy process to make it work.
Most definitely. As I'm going to go ahead and put this up here. One of our avid viewers, Linda Evans, says, "You're never too seasoned to learn new things." So that's for darn sure. I agree with that completely.
Yes, I totally agree. Yeah, I like seasoned versus old.
Well, speaking of to learning new things, I had a fun experience yesterday. I was at the district office. We participated during Zoom, but I to participate with Dr. Cook's leadership development. And what we're going to be doing is throughout the next 18 months, starting in the fall, we will have a cohort of us that are going to meet for a leadership school for Desert Sands. And I can't wait to share more about that. Mary, it's kind of like the first step of if I want to get my doctorate in educational leadership and organizational leadership. But I'm starting it with about 30 other Desert Sands people, Desert Sands staff members, and we're going to meet, it's like 24 times over the next 18 months as we go through this journey in this cohort. Yeah, I'm excited. I got to share yesterday. I'm excited to be a student again. I haven't been in the classroom as a teacher or as a student in a very long time, so I'm looking forward to that.
I know when I went to culinary school when I was 60, I was the oldest person in the class, and it was exciting to be back in that learning mode. And it was, every day was just fun. Maybe you need to go to high school when you're older.
Well, like I said, I'm excited to participate in Dr. Cook's program. But speaking of, educators that are great in Desert Sands, I want to say that we're going to bring on somebody who's near and dear to me. When I first became an administrator in Desert Sands. He's the first person to hire me. This is Mr. Derek Lawson, and Derek is joining us today as he won an award for advocacy. Not at the, we've honored people at the county, we've honored people at the state. He won this at the national level.
Oh
So
my
I'm going to
God.
have Derek come on here and to share a little bit more about what's going on with him. Good morning, Mr. Lawson. How are you doing?
I'm great. Good morning, and thank you for the invitation.
Congratulations to you. That's awesome.
Thank you very, very much. It was an honor. It was an unexpected honor.
Oh my gosh.
Mr. Lawson, maybe you could share a little bit about what you do for the district and so forth. I have it up there as a little byline there, but if you could share a little bit about yourself.
Well, and I see you have my school Twitter and my Twitter handle both on there, and you'll see that those are both very active if you happen to visit them. I'm principal at Indio High School and have been. This is my 5th year at Indio as principal. I was actually a graduate here way back in 1980. Came back to the district and I taught for the district for several years and then became a principal. I worked a year in federal projects and then from there became a principal for elementary, middle, and then high school. And I've had the privilege of opening 2 brand new schools in the district. And then later during that time, I became a member of the National Association of Secondary School Principals because I feel that as a professional, it's important for us to be involved in professional organizations, just like a doctor would be a member of the American Medical Association or any public field, that you're involved in those professional organizations because you get, not only is it an opportunity to network and learn what are the things happening across the profession, but an opportunity to give back in a greater voice. That's one of the things I did as I joined that national association.
Yeah, I'll say that Chef Mary, when I first became an admin at Page Middle School with Mr. Lawson after he opened it, I came in with the second or third year, I believe it was Derek, and he immediately got me involved with DAXA, and that's the Desert Association of California's School Administrators, and because of Derek, I was able to get in my first leadership role in that, where I was a VP of membership. And I'll be the first to say that Derek's always been the one that kind of push that we get involved in these types of things. And I credit a lot of my career, a lot of the things that I've done for Desert Sands to this gentleman here. So, Derek, I just want to say congratulations on the award, and thank you for all that you do for the Rajas, and your lifetime Raja. I love that.
Yes, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chef Mary, as we normally do, when we have honorees, we have a Stream Bomber coming in right now. And coming into Stream Bomb is our very own Assistant Superintendent of Education Services, Dr. Kelly Mae Volmer. Dr. Kelly Mae Volmer, thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. You're with Derek. You're with Derek Lawson. What would you like to say to him?
Hey, I heard he was going to be here, and I thought I got to stop by. Derek, we're so proud of you. Honestly, what an incredible honor to be named the advocacy champion on a national level. And Sean was saying earlier, I could hear him, I was backstage, but he was just talking about how much support you gave him as a young principal, and of course just mentioned that to you. And I just want to say that he is one of many that feel that way. You are a tremendous support to all of our staff in Desert Sands constantly. You are constantly trying to make the organization better, constantly trying to support the employees to help them to be the best that they can be. But we know that that not only happens here locally for us, which we're thankful for, but that you really are a voice for that on the regional and the national level. So I think this is so well deserved, and we're so proud of you, and we deeply appreciate you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I love having the opportunity to be a voice because, we serve a community that's quite diverse here. We have a very diverse community in the sense of economics. We have that diversity in the sense of ethnicity, of urban and rural backgrounds, of educational levels. We have, families that their child is going to be the first one to graduate. And then we have some members of our community who, they themselves have advanced degrees. So we have quite the range and spectrum of people that live in our valley, and the opportunity to be a voice at a national level and join mine with so many others to say to our legislators, here's what we need to have happen in our schools. And we need, I appreciate our policymakers and our legislators because of the hard work they do. But at the same time, very, very, very few of them have ever been in a classroom other than being a student in their own K-12 experience. And so for us as educators to be able to say, here's how this policy would look, or here's how it would roll out, or here's how it would impact our kids, to give them the story and to have a seat at the table so they know what the impact, I think, is so important. And I'm very proud of the opportunity to represent my district, my valley, the region and state, as we try to share those positions and advocate for things that are going to help our students be successful.
No, Derek, I just think it's fantastic that you're able. Oh, look who's visiting us. We got our very own Mr. Bailey with the applause. Thank you very much. Gotta love it with Mr. Bailey. He's notorious for that. He is the true photo bomber of stream bombers.
Yes.
The applause bomber.
There we go. I love it. Well, Dr. May Vollmer, I know that you've got a very busy day. Thank you for taking the time with us. You have a great day, and I'll see you at the board meeting tonight.
Yes, absolutely. See you all later. Have a great day, everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
All right.
Bye now.
Excellent. Yep. So, Derek, as it happens, we do have some other people that are in the background here waiting. I'll say that this next person, as you help me along the lines of being an assistant principal and teach me and guiding me, this person, I'll be the first to say I was very black and white when I started the job. And the combination of you and this person here made me see some more shades of just black and white. And with us, who's joining us is our very own Miss Bailey, who's a longtime staff member of yours. Miss Bailey, how you doing?
Good morning. I'm so happy to be here to honor Derek.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let me tell you, Derek is one of the most awesome administrators I've ever had. He and I, like you talked about, we opened 2 schools together, Johnson and Page, and we worked together for 16 years. And I have to tell you, I've been in the district over 30 years. He is the best administrator to work for. As employees under him, he allowed each of us to grow in leadership. And I was very lucky because I was on the board of directors for the National Education Association. So he and I had a lot of talk about advocacy at the national and state and local and level. And I tell you, you can't have a better person receiving this award than Derek. And I'm really proud of him. And I'm so proud to be a part of his growing up in Desert Sands. And it's so cool that he's back in his school where he started.
Thank you. Yeah, we did a lot of advocacy discussions in those days.
Yes, we did. And, we're just so, I can tell you, as his counselor, it was just a joy every day to come to work because he's a very positive person. He's someone that really brings life to any place that he's in. I don't care where you're at, he just brings that positive light no matter where he goes. And I know he's doing that at the national level. I watched him get his award online, and that was just so cool. And so I just want to say I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy that we've worked together, and proud to be in a district where you're here.
Wow, that's awesome.
That is awesome. Thank you, Miss Bailey. I greatly appreciate it. You taking the time to join us. I know you have some students over at Dr. Carrion that are probably waiting for you and so forth. Chef Mary, anything for Miss Bailey? You don't get all the time to get to see her in here.
No, it's just awesome to see you and say hello again. It's been a couple of months since we saw you.
Yeah, it's so good to see you, Chef Mary. And I love that you're doing all the mindfulness things, of course, as a counselor, very important thing. And so, of course, I'm going to push that social emotional learning part. And I'm so glad you're a great role model for that. And so glad it's working out for you. And we really appreciate you and Sean both.
Yeah, it was an easy transition once you just make yourself do it. It was just do it.
It's easier said than done, right? But when you do it, it's so worthwhile.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like having a friend you can rely on.
Speaking of that, though, I don't know if all of you are aware, but last week, Congressman Ruiz had authored a bill for social emotional learning and mental health resources for education and for public going forward. And we've been pushing for that a lot, and it passed the House. So now I've been joining him in pushing our senators to get that on the Senate floor, because we want to see our kids have access to those additional mental health resources come this fall.
Yeah, it's so important. So important. And, like Derek has said, like him, I'm up there lobbying Congress, and they have no idea what life is like in the real world of a classroom. And, we bring that to them. And I know Derek is a great advocate for that. And, the social emotional learning is just so key, especially coming hopefully out of the pandemic as we come back in the fall. Social emotional learning is just the key to make sure that our kids are successful emotionally and academically, because they work hand in hand.
Exactly, totally.
Well, Miss Bailey, thank you for taking the time to join us. We've got a full schedule this morning. As you can see, I'm actually a Coffee Bean. I'll just share real quick before you leave. I'm at Coffee Bean in Palm Desert. They honored some of our schools here in Palm Desert with some coffee. But hey, thank you much. You have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay, so Mr. Lawson, there's one thing I want to share, and maybe obviously you get into more detail. I'll tell you, he's always had a very positive, upbeat frame of everything, and I want to say that's because of influence in his life, and that might be a certain amusement park around here. Mr. Lawson, can you share about your passion for one of these local amusement parks?
Well, of course, I am an addict, so my poster is the Autopia. Of course, the teacup for my paper clips. I am so fanatic. If you walked in my office, you'd see about 45 to 50 Disney items scattered around the room. I live there. I mean, we were pass holders, and I've been probably to the park over 250 times over my lifetime. I'm just absolutely addicted.
Oh my God, I can embrace that as well. We always like to go in a small world, and then you sing that song for like 40 days. It never goes away.
Well, for me, that's my great.
Definitely.
I get to go there and be a kid. That's where I go to unwind, de-stress, get my mind off things. For me, that's the ultimate place I go to kind of refresh.
I hear you.
I'll say that being an AP working with Mr. Lawson, it was fantastic. Whenever we had a large event and so forth, he'd always bring us back to like how things were at Disneyland, because they deal with large events all the time.
Yeah.
And we adopted a lot of things from the roles and things that we saw at Disneyland. Like I remember I was setting up registration the first time, and I had this snaked out line going all throughout the gymnasium or the multipurpose room, and Derek's like, nope, can't do it this way. Let's set it up just like we do the kiosk at Disney, and boom, it made just things happen seamlessly. So, geez, Derek, just another example of how you take something to make it great.
Well, and one of the employees that works there that I know really well decided that because I've been there so often, when I got my last award, they made sure they sent me this.
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
So I know I'm supposed to wear my district badge, but along with my district ID, I also have to have my Disney one.
Oh, that is incredible.
There you go.
So I got
speaking of district. Okay, I love it. Well, speaking of district badge, we have somebody else in the background here who probably keeps a very busy schedule because of how you're doing in the community, Derek, and your advocacy. But that's our very own Mary Perry, our public information officer, and she wants to come on to say a couple things. Hey, Mary, how you doing?
Hey, am I muted or am I good to go?
You're good to go.
Okay.
You're good to go.
So, Derek, hi.
Good morning.
I don't know how much people know about the relationship that Derek has with the communications office, but he is certainly one of our team, and he helps to get interest from the media in what's going on. He's always there ready to join and participate in conversations. When I say, Derek, can you do an interview? He's there. As a matter of fact, he's doing one in just a few minutes at 9:45 with the Desert Sun. So, and if you watched NBC Palm Springs this morning, he did an outstanding interview with them on their early morning show. And Derek always takes advantage of the opportunities. So he may be on to talk about one thing, but he will never, ever let the opportunity go by to talk about other things that are of utmost importance with our students. So he's a pro at deflecting questions, and they may ask him one question and he'll sort of answer, but then he'll go on to the other things that really matter. And Derek, I know you're particularly interested in a number of issues right now that you pushed this morning on the morning show, and I know you'll do the same later this morning with the Desert Sun. So from where I sit, I know you're an amazing principal. I know several of your students. I know several of your teachers. You're terrific at that. But from my office, I really appreciate everything that you do to help us showcase and tell positive messages about our schools and our district and our students and staff. So thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Well, and Mary's always good to help me when I submit articles for things, because I've got another one, Mary, that I'll be sending you, because I'm going to be writing for another publication. They contacted me and asked if I would submit an article regarding some of the advocacy pieces. So I'll be giving you a jingle.
And you know I'm always here for you, just as I know you're always here for me. So thank you again. Well deserved, Derek. Another sort of award to add to your list, but well deserved. And I know you so well that I know you would say it's not for you and it's not about you. It's about the kids. So you could move your mouth and I'll say that. It's about the kids.
Hey, before we have you leave, Mary Perry, I want to just say there's somebody who just commented that you have a little bit of a connection to, and also Mr. Lawson does. We've got our own very Marcy Herrera. Congratulations. So for those of you that don't know, watching us on CoachellaValley.com, Marcy Herrera is an assistant principal at Indio High School. I worked with her, we worked together at La Quinta High together, and she's also the daughter of our very own Mary Perry.
Yes.
Well, Mary, thank you again for taking the time.
Thank you. I was just going to say I'm so proud of her, and I so appreciate the work that she and Derek do together, along with the entire staff at Indio High School. They really make a difference in the lives of our kids. So thank you, guys.
Excellent.
Exactly.
Thank you, Mary. You have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
We'll see ya. Oh, Mr. Lawson, as Mary Perry shared that you always try to get in another point and so forth. I would say that I learned that from you as well. It's great for transitioning segments here. Wouldn't you say, Chef Mary?
Exactly. Is that what you refer to as not following the script?
Yep, I'm notorious for that.
You got
it. That's why when Carol was talking, I had to sandwich in that legislation that just passed, because we're so excited about that.
Exactly. To me, it's like you jump in and put it out there when you get the opportunity.
Well, and there's so much happening in a short time frame. I mean, last week, another one that our district pushed on last year, the superintendent and Dr. Vollmer both were participating in outreaches for the expansion of broadband. That was one of the things, with the E-rate and some of the legislation. And we've been pushing for that for the last couple of years. And so I had the opportunity to advocate for that as well. Because as you can see with the rise of social media, technology or I should say infrastructure and bandwidth and internet access is the electricity of the 21st century. Much like what we tried to get electricity to every home during the New Deal, well, the New Deal of the 21st century is broadband access. And so I was able to be a part of that. And last week as well, the FCC has now authorized a huge amount to make broadband accessible to all of the rural regions of our country and make that access possible. And that is so vitally important.
No, speaking of broadband, and you're talking about that, Mr. Lawson, one of the things that Chef Mary and I were doing at the beginning in August is we were advocating for people to help us out with MiFis for students and so forth. So I applaud you guys in your efforts to make sure that all of our students are connected. That is definitely needed. I love that. I love that completely. Maybe if you could share a little bit about what is graduation going to look like at Indio High? When is graduation? If you can give us as many details as you can. I know that things are changing daily, but if you could share with what you can.
Well, our graduation is on Tuesday, June 1st at 7:30. All of our high schools now, the comprehensive high schools, are going to have an outdoor modified ceremony based on the guidelines from public health. So we will have an outdoor ceremony. There will be some restrictions regarding pre-registration of guests and a limitation for the percentage of people that we can have in the stadium because of the capacity and the guidelines. So we're moving forward with that and contacting all of our families so that they're aware of the ticketing and the pre-registration and the numbers. We also will still be live streaming the graduation so that all families that are not able to be there in person, those extended families, will have access to watch as we have every year for the graduation. So we're looking forward to that. there are going to be a few changes, as I'm sure everyone's aware. You know, this pandemic has created some changes for the way we do business, so to speak. So we've got to take care of some sanitizing and social distancing while we're on the field, like distance between students, and the numbers that we can have on the stage, or how that's going to logistically look. And then when students pick up their diploma, we won't be able to hand them anything or give them a hug or a handshake like we used to in the past. So we've got some other plans for the way we'll do our photography, and allowing students to have their moment in the spotlight, so to speak, with the photographer still in front of them.
Okay,
That
that's
is
great.
awesome.
No, I'll tell you guys do a great job over at Indio with graduation. I know that with all the planning that you guys are doing ahead of time, it's just going to be that much better than last year. Because I know last year with the drive-bys and so forth, they were completely different. I know that people are just really, really excited to be in a spot and some sense of normalcy. Chef Mary, if you didn't know, when we did the halftime shows for football, I did 2 of them right from Indio High School, right in their
That's
stadium in the Raja Stadium. So yeah, they've got
We know,
a great school over there, and thank you very much for that opportunity too, Mr. Lawson.
we know what's interesting. Madison goes from 5th grade to 6th grade, and they have a little mini graduation thing. And I guess they put a little memo out and said, do you want to do in person with just 2 people, or do a drive-by? And she goes, oh, I want the drive-by in the convertible. So it's kind of interesting how we did a drive-by for my grandson last year at his high school. And she goes, oh, I want to drive by too. That was so much fun, and I really liked it. And it was handled incredibly well. So I think in all of this, it's given us another way to look at graduation, where the kids feel excited about it, and it was an easy transition.
Mm-hmm.
But, Mr. Lawson, years ago, we attended a event at your school. It was a technical education event, I believe it was, Sean, where all of your different programs were represented. And I was in awe of the programs that are there that I don't think a lot of people know about. We had cookies. We bought brownies and cookies, but there was a gentleman that was actually in a doctor's coat, and he was talking about his program. And maybe you could share those educational programs that you have there. I know you do the flowers.
Well, we have a full program of for FFA, for Future Farmers of America. We actually have a horticulture pathway and an animal care pathway that's all under the umbrella of that FFA. And of course, they have, in that horticulture segment, they do have a floral design component as well. So we have a variety within that umbrella. We have a health and wellness and nutrition academy that is the one that you were referring to. And that's training students for a future not only in the health fields, but looking into the wellness and nutrition fields as well. We have a couple of students that have moved on to become athletic trainers and things in that realm. We have a program for engineering, an engineering pathway to give students that particular opportunity. And they also have an opportunity within the pathway for engineering to get involved in robotics and some introductory aspects. We all have a program called Network Systems that is partnered with a dual credit approach through College of the Desert. And it's an opportunity for our students to gain certification and work in the networking systems trade industry. We have a student that is now an intern at Google. We have another student that's graduating from UC Davis this year. He went through that pathway. He just graduates in a couple more weeks from Davis, and he will be he's also going to be working in the field and has his first job out in that industry sector. And so we're excited for him. And then we have what we of course call the impact pathway. Our impact program is that media arts program. That's where our broadcasting and graduations first started, and all of the opportunities for students to be involved in graphic design, media development, the use of technology, broadcasting, all under that particular umbrella. So we have a wide variety of opportunities for our students in the career technical education pathways.
Yeah, I was just in awe of that. I was just amazed because we get caught up in our own little school, and you don't realize what other programs are in the other high schools.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mr. Lawson, I I just want to say thank you for taking the time. Congratulations again for the award in advocacy based on the national level. That's just absolutely fantastic. Through the National Association of Secondary School Administrators, is that the organization? Yep. And I just think it's outstanding that you have that. You won that, and everything that you're doing for the community, everything you're doing for the Indio High, and everything you're doing for us admin here. Thank you very much. Chef Mary, anything else before we let Mr. Lawson go here?
Well, I can appreciate your love of Disneyland. I like mascot costumes. I always wanted to be that Black Hawk at our school. And when I see them, I just go, I just want to be on the football field or something in one of those costumes. So I embrace your desire to love being a child.
Yep. One of the most refreshing things in my day.
I know.
Well, thank you, Mr. Lawson. You have a great day, and good luck with that next interview you got here just in, about 10 minutes?
Yep. Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to share with you today.
Bye. Congratulations.
We'll see you. Bye-bye. Oh, so another great staff member here that we have in Desert Sands.
I know. I mean, the programs they had over there, Sean, I was just blown away when we were representing culinary. We just weren't bringing cookies and brownies. And all the different educational programs that they have there, you just don't know about them because you're so involved in your own school. I mean, look how well the flowers have done with the Sunday market.
Like we said at Sunday Market, which we'll have the next one on the 30th. Here's a Derek Lawson moment. I'm adding a little plug in there. We got our next one on the 30th over at Sunday Market off of San Pablo, and we'll have Indio High School Floral there. La Quinta High will be selling soaps, and we'll be there just to say hello. But no, you're right. Just the great opportunity. Caesar's done great. He's been the #1 seller, I'm sure, at every Sunday Market he's been at.
Yeah, that's awesome. I remember that he did flowers for one of our couple of our showdowns too, right? He did table decorations for us in some events that we had at La Quinta.
Yeah. And we're going to be highlighting them later, hopefully this summer. Actually, he's got a great project going on over there with some of his FFA students, where they're building raised flower beds. And I actually have a meeting with the FFA teacher. Some of the students that are involved that are juniors right now, they want to see this happen for senior year. Get this, Mary, they want to have their own farmers market. I'm gonna throw it out there, potentially at John Glenn Middle School. So it'll be Indio High School, and it'll be other schools that are selling their produce. Look, I see you grinning there. I think it's amazing that you're learning to farm the land.
Well, I mean, a lot of the restaurants now, have their own gardens and everything out back, and this is a great pathway for some of these students to come in, and maybe not necessarily be involved in culinary in the kitchen, but to maintain those gardens that they use in the restaurants, so they have fresh produce every day. I think that's becoming really a thing of the future. But you can just go out and whatever you want to do, basically farm to table.
Exactly. I just want to bring this up here. You always highlight people who are saying comments and so forth. This gentleman's actually commented a couple of times. He's watching from Chicago. This is James True, and it seems that he had a father that was in education. So I just want to make sure to show that pretty awesome. The comment there talking about a liaison officer for the Air Force Academy, and also a college administrator, teacher, and coach. You got to love it when we can not only impact and tell information to the people of the Coachella Valley, but this person's all the way calling in from Chicago. So James, thank you for watching us. We appreciate that. And Craig Campbell, thank you for the partnership, for allowing us to be on CoachellaValley.com to share all this great information about our wonderful staff at Desert Sands. But Chef Mary, you got anything else for us before we sign off?
No, I'm going to be tidying up everything, getting ready for my move, and looking forward to a new adventure.
Okay, excellent. So once again, I just wanted to say congratulations with your move. Congratulations with that going forward. I'm not going to go entirely to say congratulations with the sale of your house yet, because it's not sold yet. But right, you got to wait till the final 30 days or whatever, right?
Really, it's like got to wait for the lady to sing.
There you go. Well, Chef Mary, I'm going to have you on here while we sign off. Thank you very much for keeping an eye on us, everybody here at CoachellaValley.com and Desert Sands Educational Foundation. a great look out here to talk about Derek Lawson, who won the Advocacy Award for the National Association of Secondary School Administrators. Pretty amazing, and we had some great guests. But we'll be back with you later in the week as we share. We're going to actually have Friday at 9 a.m. with Classroom Conversations, where we're going to be with some other members of our mental health team in Desert Sands and talk about some more things that Chef Mary can take to practice daily. You guys, there you go. You guys have a great day, and be safe out there, and we'll see you later in the week at Classroom Conversations. Bye-bye.
All right, bye, guys.